meet them today and spend a little time with them, but to also welcome them to the Spurs organization and the Spurs family. So thank you all. And with that, we'll kick it right off.
Thanks, B. Thank you, Brian. We're trying to get our guys out here. Sorry. We're going to cue a video that'll intro Harrison. Go ahead.
Harrison, you got one thing first before you jump in.
Right here. 3, 2. Let's go, Pop. Woo!
How y'all doing?
Morning.
When Andrew Lopez at ESPN, when Brian just pulled out the jersey, I heard you say this is crazy. What has this moment been like? What has this week kind of just been like for you?
Man, I mean, it's hard to put into words. When you're a little kid, you dream of this moment of hearing your name called, and to stay in Texas with a program like San Antonio, which has so much history with Tim Duncan. I mean, Coach Popovich is just, I mean, this is crazy.
Hey, Harrison. Just knowing how the Spurs play and how you play, how would you evaluate the fit and what you might bring to the group on the floor?
No, I'm a player. I like to do whatever it takes to win. I want to adapt to whatever the team needs, and whatever Coach Pop asks of me, whatever the coaches have asked of me, I'll be ready to do. Whether that's rebound, shoot threes, play defense, dive on the floor. I mean, it doesn't really matter for me.
You're obviously built as like a multi-skilled guy. Is there one skill you would say that's my bread and butter? That's what I do.
I feel very confident in my catch and shoot three-point game.
Harrison, Tom Horsborn from the San Antonio Express News. Dovetailing off what Jeff said, you're a versatile defender. To be in this program that emphasizes defense so much, what are your thoughts on that? And also your thoughts on playing with Wemby?
I mean, the first, talking about defense, I love defense. That's how you win championships. You look at the Celtics this year, their defensive, their crew, and then to play with a guy like Wemby, he's the next coming of the GOAT. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's #1 pick. He's supposed to be one of the best players, and it'll be fun to play with somebody who's 7'4" and blocking everything at the paint.
Harrison, Matthew Tynan,
you talk about defense, you look at Steph Castle, you look at point of attack, and then there's Victor behind them. Like, what is this team, this roster, sort of, as you look at it long term, unfolding like?
You know, it's a young roster. They're building, and you got young talent like Wemby, like you just said, and Stephen Castle at the point of attack, and a lot of guys in the wing. A lot of guys. I mean, people are just working to get better and just trying to win a championship. That's the goal.
And does that defensive aspect of things, like you're looking at a team with you included, that might stack up to be pretty good defensively?
I mean, let's hope that's the plan, but. Defense, that's what starts. Offense, you can always score, you can always make shots, but you got to be able to stop other teams to win.
Hi, Jeff Garcia, Ken's 5. Harrison, have you ever been to San Antonio? What do you know about the city? And can you tell us about your love of chess?
Yes, sir. I'm from Dallas, so when I was growing up, I came down to San Antonio a lot with my family on road trips to Six Flags or stuff like that. And, chess, I love chess. My dad right here. He taught me when I was like 7 years old how to play, and I've kind of played ever since. I play probably once or twice a day just on chess.com or on a chessboard.
Harrison, voy a hacerlo en español porque nos sorprendiste con tu español en Nueva York. ¿Qué significa llegar a San Antonio? ¿Qué significa llegar a un lugar donde hay mariachi, en un lugar donde vas a jugar baloncesto? What does it mean to you to arrive to San Antonio and play in an arena where there's mariachi, there's tacos, so many Latina culture? What does it mean to you? ¿Qué significa para ti?
In Spanish or in English?
En español, sí, para que la gente se entere.
Sí, es fantástico ir a San Antonio con mi familia y con mi hermano, mi hermana, mi padre, mi madre. Y, yo estoy feliz. Juego al baloncesto con un equipo bueno y sí, gracias.
Bienvenido a los Spurs.
Sí.
I guess we got to ask, where'd you pick up Spanish?
What's that?
Ever since I was like kindergarten, every school I went to, we had to take a Spanish class. So I've been taking it for about 12 years now.
So you're pretty fluent in it, I would imagine.
I would say I'm pretty fluent. Sometimes it's tough to speak it fast and understand it when it's going at a fast pace, but I can speak it pretty well.
And then growing up in Dallas, how much did you follow the Spurs? And I hate to ask in front of all these people, but were you a Mavs fan?
I'm not a Mavs fan. I was never really a Spurs. I never really had a specific team growing up. I was always a LeBron fan. I'm not gonna lie, I was always a LeBron fan. Wherever he went, I was cheering for LeBron. But I'm definitely a diehard Cowboys fan, though.
AJ Hoffman, San Antonio Sports Star. High expectations for you coming out of high school. There was talks about you maybe being a lottery pick a couple years ago. Is there like a chip on your shoulder for sliding to 48 in the draft? And do you carry that with you into your career?
100%. I feel like you can always get better on the court. You can always work harder. And just because someone, 47 guys drafted ahead of me doesn't mean they're better than me. I'm going to come in here every day, work hard, and try to earn my minutes.
Anybody else? Great. Thank you, Harrison. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Excited to have Harrison here. So we've got one more pick that's in attendance. Please direct your attention to the board. guy on the table. The fourth pick in the draft, Stefan Castle. Yeah. Any questions for Stefan? Try to get the mic right here in front.
Hey, Stefan, how you doing? Welcome. I guess, first of all, if you just want to tell us what the last 24 to 48 hours have been like for you since you heard your name called.
I mean, it's been kind of unreal. I mean, it's definitely been a dream come true. And, you know, I've been blessed to, you know, experience it with my family with me. You know, they've had a lot of sacrifices, you know, just being in college. They weren't always with me. So to just go through this with them, you know, behind me, it's been fun.
Gotcha. Andrew Lopez, ESPN. You've talked through this process about what you kind of feel you are on the court. Somebody's off ball, on ball. Where do you feel that you fit in coming here to San Antonio?
I mean, just with my versatility, I feel like, you know, I'm a perfect fit here. You know, just being able to, you know, display my playmaking ability, create shots for myself, for my teammates. You know, just being at UConn, you know, becoming a better screener, just becoming a better cutter, just really, you know, balancing my, you know, all-around game. So, you know, just being on the court, trying to do, you know, everything that I can, rebound, push. I mean, like I said, showing my playmaking ability, you know, using my defense as an advantage for our team. So really just trying to do whatever I can on the court to help us win.
Mike Monroe, The Athletic, right here. You had a fair amount of experience throwing lob passes to Klingon. You think you can get him a little bit higher now for Wemby?
Yeah, I mean, he's a real big target. I mean, it was fun throwing lobs to DC, so I can only imagine what it'll be like now.
Tom Orsborn, San Antonio Express News. You talked to Pop, and of course, during the process of you know, working out here, just your thoughts on playing for him, and you know, what you know about Pop.
I mean, just the thought of playing for Coach Pop is, you know, it really doesn't feel real. Just coming from, you know, probably the best college basketball coach to now going to, you know, a coach like Coach Pop, a legendary coach like that, you know, it's just, I feel like it's the perfect situation. And I feel like this is, you know, the position that, you know, any basketball player would want to be in, to, you know, play for two high-level coaches like that, and, you know, just to be able to learn from him. You know, I'm excited for, you know, just to be able to play for him and, you know, how much I'll grow.
Hey, Stefan, over here. The Spurs actually tweeted out like videos of you getting the call from Pop, videos of you FaceTiming with Victor saying, yeah, I know who you are, dude. What does it mean? And like in that moment, it even looks like you had to exhale for a second when they posted the video of Pop. Like, is this actually real? What do those mean? Like those moments mean to you?
I mean, it really means the world to me. Just, you know, just being a basketball fan, to be able to be on the phone with Coach Pop. I mean, at this point in my career, you know, it's really all I could ask for. And, you know, just from the outside looking in, you watched the season last year. You can see, you know, how promising, you know, the Spurs' futures look. So just to, you know, feel welcomed from, you know, probably the head of, you know, the Spurs right now. You know, it just made me feel really welcomed, and I was just really blessed to, you know, have those conversations.
Over here. Right here. Jeff Garcia, Kens 5. San Antonio's been following your career since your high school days, and here you are now. Were you aware that you have been on their radar, and what does it feel like now for it to come full circle?
I mean, when I'm in high school, I'm just really thinking about playing. I'm not really understanding like the whole process between it all. But I mean, now I know that they've been watching me for, you know, a long time, and, you know, I'm just super grateful for, you know, the position that I'm in. You know, I know that, you know, a lot of kids, especially at the high school age, they don't look too far ahead. But just now, just looking back on that time, I wouldn't expect to, you know, be in the position that I'm in now. But I feel like that's just, you know, really with all the hard work that I put in, you know, I feel like it's all paid off.
Hey, Stefan, back over here. obviously anybody that followed basketball last year was aware of Victor. How much did you see of him? How much did you follow? And could you have imagined or even had the thought that you might be playing with him soon?
I mean, I think the first time I saw him was him overseas, playing for France, doing some crazy stuff. And I mean, I remember watching him last year. You know, just a lot of great games he had, a lot of great plays he had. I mean, just the thought of playing with him. Of course, it circulates in your mind, but you know, it really doesn't feel real until it becomes reality. So, I mean, just to know that that's going to be my future teammate now. I'm just really excited for what our future looks like.
Wanted to ask you about your approach to defense. Is that sort of your calling card? Or are you one of those guys that it's like, give me the best scorer on the other team and let me have a shot at them? Is that your mentality?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, especially with the kind of role that I had last year, I feel like that's kind of adapting to my DNA now, and just the thought of being that point of attack defender and, having, Wemby behind me now. I mean, you saw how great it was when I had, DC behind me. So I can only imagine what it would be like to, have probably the best shot blocker in the league behind me now.
Mary Roman, your case at 12. Welcome. Harrison just said that his biggest inspiration growing up in basketball was LeBron James. Who was that for you, or who did you watch? Who inspired you?
Probably growing up, I would say Kevin Durant. I mean, he's 7 foot, creating his own shot, shooting deep threes, just really doing everything on the court. So, I mean, as a kid, I feel like, well, I did at least wanted to, play like or be like kind of Kevin Durant.
Stefan, your family's here. I'm just wondering how many stories you heard growing up about your dad clearly outplaying Tim Duncan.
I heard that he played with Tim Duncan. I didn't hear the outplaying part, but I've heard a few. Of course, there were a lot of good ones, but yeah, the outplaying part that didn't get to me yet.
AJ Hoffman, San Antonio Sports Star. The kind of knock on you coming in was maybe about your shooting. How much of that do you think was the shooters you played with, the Caravans, the Spencers, and you were just sort of passive in that aspect too? And do you think that you're a shooter at the NBA level?
I mean, I would just say that, I feel like, just with all the shooters that we did have on our team, I feel like, my ability to shoot, it was kind of overlooked a little bit by our coaches, but I mean, for the right reasons. I mean, we had two 40% shooters on our team, so I mean, to get them the ball was really a no-brainer. But I mean, I have a lot of confidence in my shot. I've put a lot of work in, and I mean, just really with all the work that I've put in, just coming into the league now, just being able to grow and have that confidence to take more of those shots, and I feel like. It's not anything that I'm worried about or really thinking too heavy about.
Hey, Stefan, Brian Wright actually brought up the fact that you didn't get a chance to fire up 8 threes a game or something like that. Like if it wouldn't work and you didn't get a chance to work through it, how much of that, how important is that to be able to have that sort of that ability to just fire away, to take your lumps, all that stuff, and work on it?
I feel like it's super important. I mean, it's hard when you're working out every day, working on your shooting and stuff, and then you get in the game and you might only get 2 attempts at it or 3 attempts at it, but just to have those shooting slumps and be able to, work through it and, just progress from there. I feel like that'll be a big part of my future, and, I think I'll see a lot of progress in it.
Yeah, welcome to San Antonio. Just wanted to ask, I know you had some time to probably ponder and think how you're going to fit into this roster, and I just wanted to know from your perspective, what excites you the most when you think about the things that you're going to achieve on this team?
I mean, like I said earlier, just with the fitting in part with the roster, I would just say with my versatility, I know that, we're the youngest team in the league, so we'll have a lot of young players in rotation, but I feel like I'll be able to play with, any other four on the court, just, with my on-ball and off-ball ability. And, just what I would say excites me the most is, like what I said earlier, is with our defense, me being able to, be the point of attack defender, and then, having a great shot blocker like Wemby behind me to, change shots and, impact shots. I think it'll be I think it'll impact the league at like very quickly and, at a high rate.
Stephon, you indicated at the combine you really wanted to play the point in the NBA. Is that still your desire now that you've gotten here?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like that's where I'm most comfortable. But I mean, then again, like I said, just being at UConn for that 1 year, just expanding my, off-ball abilities and being able to show really my whole game. That's something that, I plan to do, like, as I, come here and play.
Stephon, Victor had a very limited experience at Summer League last year. Are you looking forward to going to Summer League and having a longer experience, getting to play a lot of games this summer?
Yes, I would say so. Just being able to go out there and compete and, show my talent, be able to play against some of my former teammates is something that, I'm really looking forward to. And, being able to play with, my new teammates and, be able to grow with them and learn with them, that's something that's going to be really fun and something I've been looking forward to for a while now.
Stephon, you talk about the point guard stuff. The Spurs love to do a lot of grab and go, and everyone gets a piece of the action. How much does that appeal to you when you think about the playmaking aspect of your game?
I mean, I think that appeals to me a lot, just being able to do that and, get downhill, with my finishing ability and, the way I feel like I can see the floor. Just be able to, be in, different positions, interchangeable positions like that. And I mean, like I've been saying, just being able to show my versatility and, actions like that is, something that I think I'll thrive in.
Obviously, just 1 year of college, didn't do a lot of losing. You come into a team that won 22 games last year. Obviously, the road is a little bit long to get to where you guys want to be. How prepared are you mentally to kind of take some of those lumps that you didn't really have to take in college?
I mean, it's something that, you definitely think about. I feel like I was in the perfect college situation. Everybody's college season doesn't go the way ours went. But, just understanding that, you're in a better league now with, great NBA players and, you're not going to win every game. It's something that, you're just going to have to get used to. So, I mean, I didn't win everything in high school or, I didn't win everything in, AAU. So, I mean, it's not anything that's new to me. It's just what we do after that, just trying to do whatever we can to, avoid that and impact winning in, as many ways as we can.
Hey, Steph. Paco Fuentes, Univision. So I know you've been busy, but how much of San Antonio have you seen within your tight schedule? And wondering if you've already had an opportunity to have a breakfast taco. It's a big tradition here.
Nah, I haven't had the breakfast taco yet, but soon though, for sure. But I've been able to see, a little bit. I know I'm going to the River Rock later today, so I know that's a big staple of San Antonio. So I've just been able to experience the time with my family and really just take it all in that now I'm a Spur. So just really just understanding that now and knowing that our lives are changed forever is really what my last couple of days have been like.
Thank you, Stephon. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot that we have not only SS&E staff, but media and some friends of the family. Thank you guys for coming out. We're going to get these guys in their uniforms. So if you want to hang around and see their first look in their Spurs jerseys, feel free to hang on the court. Otherwise, the Rock at La Cantera has the club upstairs and the plaza outside. But thank you guys for coming. It means a lot. Thank you.